contribution, which is by observing the result when the human accidental and purposely transplant a species to the area where the species cannot be found because of the time and its initial shift. So, success is determined by the ability to completing at least one life cycle in a new habitat or environment. Some of species can disperse and survive at the new area but cannot be reproduced. For the transplant experiment concept, the moving of the individual of species to the unoccupied area to determine if they can survive and reproduce successfully. There are two outcomes of the transplant experiment, which is successful and unsuccessful. Biological invasions are leading to the cost of the biological loss and reduce the substantial contribution to human-caused global change, while the invasion of the marine species is relatively uncommon and ecological states are largely unknown. Introduction to the predatory freshwater fishes have often proven to the devastating to the native communities. The species that we choose is the lionfish, native to Indo-Pacific. The lionfish invasion in the Western Atlantic. This is the example of the proposed transplant, which, when the species intended to contribute the benefit of the agriculture and aquaculture. Now they are spread out to the western seaboard of the USA and throughout the Caribbean and have arrived in Tanzania.
For this presentation, we choose lionfish as our topic. Lionfish is invasive species in the Atlantic. It has the potential to harm reef ecosystem because it is top predator that compete for food and spaces. It competes with overfish native salts such as snapper and grouper. Lionfish have scientific names which Petrois volitans and Petrois miles. It has distinctive brown and maroon and white stripes on their head and body. An adult lionfish can grow as large as 80 inches, while juvenile may be as small as 1 inch or less. Lionfish have cyclod scale. Lionfish are found in mostly all marine habitats, type found in warm marine water of the tropic. Lionfish have been found in water depth from 1 to 300 feet on hard bottom, mangrove, seagrass, coral and artificial reef. The behavior of lionfish are thought to be nocturnal hunter, but they have been found with full stomach during the day in the Atlantic. They move about slowly, undulating the soft ray of the dorsal and anal fins. The objective: first, to study whether lionfish does affect life of Atlantic coral reef or not. Second, to learn how lionfish destroy the coral reef.
For methods, researchers have conducted a controlled field experiment to study the effects of lionfish on coral reef fish recruitment at Stocking Island in Bahamas. They used an existing matrix of 3 meter square translocated live coral patch reef and 1 meter square artificial concrete block reefs. The experimental reefs are separated from natural reef by 1 kilometer and from each other by 200 meters. Initial survey also conducted to confirm that no lionfish were presented at the outset of the experiment. They also count all strongly interacting fish species, including one that have negative effects on the recruitment of reef fishes in Bahamas, such as territorial dam shellfishes. To start off, the researchers placed 20 reef and were pegged based on spatial proximity and similarity of the pre-existing. 10 were translocated and other 10 were artificial. Reef pairings were used to account for potential spatial variability in recruitment and the potential effects of members of the pre-existing community on post-settlement survival of reef fishes. One reef in each pair was designed as a controlled reef lionfish absent and the other as treatment reef lionfish present. Single lionfish were then transplanted from nearby reef to each of the lionfish present reefs. The following lionfish transplant fish recruitment censuses were conducted at 1 week interval for 5 weeks by 2 divers using scuba. As the experiment ran during larva recruitment season, the researchers expected to see overall increase in the number of small reef fish on all reefs through the study period. They also predicted that net recruitment will be lower on lionfish treatment reefs than on control reefs. In this study, they used a multi-way analysis of variance model with treatment and reef type as explanatory factors and reef pair as an error term to draw inference regarding the effect of lionfish on net recruitment. They also conduct visual examination of standardized residuals versus fitted values as well as stratum 3 residuals versus normal quantiles. These are to indicate the data conform to the assumption of homogeneity of variance and normality.
After they collected data for 5 weeks, what they found out was, in general, the net recruitment was significantly low in reef with lionfish compared to reef without lionfish. And on average, the lionfish caused a 79% reduction in net recruitment. And during the experiment, 38 species of reef fish are recruited in both the reef without the lionfish and reef with the lionfish. And in the reef with the lionfish, out of 38 species, 23 suffered from the reduction in recruitment, meaning that more than half of the species recruited suffered from the reduction. And to go into detail, 4 out of 5 parrotfish species suffered from the reduction. The problem about lionfish is that they consume almost everything. This is proven in this experiment when they made a stomach analysis on the lionfish used in this experiment and also lionfish that are in the area of the experiment. What they can say about their observation was the main reason behind the reduction are certainly because of predation between the lionfish and also the native fishes. What they found out was lionfish eats large quantity of prey and also large prey. Their diet can be small fishes, mid-sized fishes, and also crustaceans like spiny lobsters. The scientists even observed an adult lionfish eating up to 20 roosters in a period of 30 minutes. And in captivity, it is not unusual to observe a lionfish to eat something that is up to 2/3 of its length. This experiment conducted is the first experimental evidence that the invasive Indo-Pacific lionfish has a direct negative effects towards the population of coral reef fishes in the Atlantic Ocean. This experiment also shows that the lionfish monopolize the important food source for predator in this area, and if left unchecked, the lionfish can decrease the ecological abundance of Atlantic Ocean.
From the experiment, we can conclude that the lionfish could affect the life of coral reef fish in Atlantic. While conducted a control field experiment, it proven that 23 out of 38 species coral reef suffered in the presence of lionfish. The lionfish destroy coral reef with venomous spines. Lionfish carry a deadly poison in their spine and make them inedible to other predatory fish. The increasing of lionfish population put stress on coral reef. It is because lionfish eat herbivores and herbivores eat algae from coral reef. Algae growth goes unchecked without herbivores that can impact the coral reef health. Throughout the research, it can be concluded that the lionfish do not harm only coral reef, but other species such as yellow snapper, parrotfish, nozzle group, and etc.